the adrenaline is still very high for a lot of people that we've talked to. Since then, where we were on the east side of campus where the green is, it's kind of calmed down. There were a lot of officers there. There seemed to be a pop-up tent that they were working out of that they soon moved off. But again, it is still closed. People have been coming, but they've just been turning back. Police do have all of these streets blocked off for the protest that has been happening since 6 o'clock. But again, they are still going pretty hard over here, still chanting, still yelling, and we're not sure exactly when this might disperse. It happened at the end of the protest. We were just on this corner right here when the organizer said, hey, it's done, everybody needs to leave. And right after that, that's when 3 gunshots rang out and people just started running, hiding behind concrete barriers and cars. That's when we ran down to see what was going on. We did see a man on the ground being tended to by medics. Well, we're right in front of it. I can feel the heat from the flames just at my back here. There's a lot to show you, so I'll get right to it. You can see some of the flames coming up over the roof here. You can see the firefighters have 2 ladders shooting water and one from the bottom here you just saw go up. They've been working on this for the last 30 or 40 minutes. We were out in an LDS church not too far from here where the staging area was, when suddenly around 7:30-ish we noticed a large line of fire that was just feet away from us. And right then, that's when sheriff or the fire officials told us all to get out. They told us we need to evacuate because of how close and how large this fire was. And we were told by UTA that an 18-year-old girl who was crossing platforms apparently had headphones on and didn't really hear the train coming, which ultimately hit and killed her. Well, I'm seeing shirts, I'm seeing signs. Obviously, we've seen all of the ribbons that have been tied to trees all around Tremont Street here. It's just everyone is remembering them during this tradition that has been so big here in Tremont and for so long. Well, I just got off the phone with the Washington County Sheriff's Office. They did give me a little bit more information. We've been getting reports that some of the structures have burned down, and they did confirm that structures have burned down. They don't know how many as of right now because it is still a very hectic situation out here just because of how windy it is. You can probably see and hear, but if you just look over here, you can see some of the smoke. We've seen a lot of black smoke kind of come up in little spots all over. There was a lot of firefighters behind me, but they just actually left, so it just shows just the quick work that they were able to do. It took about 20 minutes for them to get this fire under control here right behind me at the trailhead. I'll give you another look. You can see the burned wooden fence up there, and then if we go up the hill, you can see some of the more burnt dry grass up there. Well, all we know right now is that a construction crew earlier this afternoon found a black bag full of hair and bones, and when police came and investigated it, they did confirm it was human remains. We just got here in the area now, and you can see there still is an active investigation going on. A lot of police going through this area here, and then over into this higher grass over here, there is a dog that is going through there, so they're still doing more searching.
When we're talking and thinking about this 17-year-old who survived, do they believe he was a victim as well, or possibly the shooter here?
Well, Heidi, they said it's too early to really tell right now. The 17-year-old, we're not sure what condition that they're in. We aren't sure exactly how long ago this took place, so we don't know just how long that 17-year-old was in the garage. But police didn't want to say or to speculate right now because they think it's too early in the investigation to really say. But just about 5 minutes ago, there were a lot of officers behind me here because apparently this is where there was a traffic stop. And now when officers tried to stop this man, the man gave them a false identity. Now, we don't know exactly how the people in the plane are currently doing. Although they were able to walk away from the crash and told people here they were okay, they were still taken to the hospital. 5 cars were involved in this, and if we just pan over a little bit, we'll show you a little bit of there. There's a white truck over here that seems to have gotten the brunt of it compared to the rest of these cars. If we keep moving over here, we see a bunch of firefighters here working. We have people who are getting stuff out of the car because this is still an active scene. They've been out here working hard. I mean, I talked to one of them who said they were on one of these slopes that were just very hard to get up and down. They were using a hose to even get to the spot they needed to be. But I mean, they're working hard. They're not on the front lines, but they've been doing some important work, just making sure that nothing reignites. You can probably see behind me just this beautiful sunset, but it's just kind of marred with all of this destruction that's behind me. I'm actually right here on PCH. And there's a hill right here just it done. I mean, just look at that. You know, a normal, beautiful sight is just kind of ruined by just all of this destruction here. There's a car there. All of these buildings that were here are just gone. This is where people are supposed to propose an alternate location for the gun range. You have a whole map of the area. It's here. There's proposals for other parts of the state. But if you look off to the side, the stickers are off the map. That means people don't want this gun range anywhere near their neighborhood. Here's how it works. You get home one day, you find an unexpected package. You open up and you find some kind of item, in this case, a stapler. And you might think, that's weird, I didn't order this. But that's not all. There's also a QR code that will tell you who sent it. But that's how they get you, because as soon as you scan this, they have all your information. Before people could even finish up cleaning from yesterday, it's raining again. And they're worried if it doesn't stop, they could have it happen all over again. A lot of times, small businesses will use chalkboards like this to advertise their business or events. Well, here in downtown Ogden, one business had decided to use their precious ad space to send a message instead.
Yeah, tonight, David Ochoa finally able to ask the mayor about his comments. David, you've been trying to get him for a few days now. You caught up with him earlier tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I first tried to get him last Friday, and then again on Monday, and then today I even came here to City Hall early to see if I could grab him, but he wasn't here. But he was there at the meeting tonight, so I was able to ask him about his comments. Residents in Fruit Heights said no to a code blue shelter in their neighborhood, and they got their wish. At a public meeting Wednesday, the pastor of the Mountain Road Church said they were withdrawing from the plan, partly for safety reasons.
We have withdrawn our church as a code blue warming center.
Some people also asked about transparency with the city, since Mayor John Pullman said last month that residents didn't need to know about this plan.
There is no contract.
But when they asked, he wasn't in the room. So I went looking for him and was finally able to ask him about his comments while the meeting was still going on. Why did you say that? Why did you think that people didn't need to know?
The truth of the matter is I didn't know. I didn't have information to present to people. We did not know until after the fact of where the locations were designated.
But at the October 15th meeting, he gave some information about the plan and answered some questions from the council members. I asked him again about his comments. To make a statement to say that they didn't need to know, regardless, what was that about?
I would say the same thing with the state. Why is the state not allowing, why are the state not being transparent with us and letting the cities know what's going on?
After that, the interview went back and forth until he walked away.
I'm sorry.
I'm not the only person who has had a tough time asking him about this.
When I saw the video of the city council meeting, I copied that video and I sent it to him in the text because he had texted me. And so I texted that, and his response was, "Thank you for watching our city council meeting." Not, "I should have been transparent."
And that last woman you just heard is a resident of Fruit Heights and was here at the meeting. She was one of the people that asked about transparency. Now, while there's been no official calls for his resignation, several people told me that they came to this meeting tonight expecting that to happen.
A loose trailer hitch damaged 9 vehicles after it flew into traffic on I-15 in Clearfield over the weekend.
This is yet another example of debris causing damage on our highways. It's a topic we've covered multiple times of late. In the last 2 months, David Ochoa has brought you stories of pieces of metal smashing through windshields after people have reached out saying the same thing has happened to them.
Yeah, he joins us live now. David, this isn't a recent problem.
Yeah, that's right. After I did my last story, more people reached out to me saying that the same thing has happened to them, including a man who said it happened to him and his brother 10 years ago, which resulted in one of them losing the use of one of their arms. Ethan White, Shane Scheller, and Dane Jones all have one thing in common. A leaf spring has smashed through their windshields as they drove on I-15.
I was definitely freaking out.
It's just crazy. It was very life-threatening.
Life-changing events when something comes flying through your windshield.
White and Scheller's incidents happened within the last couple of months, but Jones's happened 10 years ago, and he has some insight on what the other 2 men might have to deal with while driving.
Still is with me. I mean, it's been 10 years now, but you're always looking for stuff. You become a more defensive driver.
The 16-pound piece of metal that went through the windshield of the car Jones and his brother were in hit Jones's brother in the arm.
It caused him to hit his elbow against some shelving in the back seat, leading him to lose most of the use in his right arm.
He became pretty much left-handed after that.
With more and more people reaching out to me with their own stories of getting hit by debris, I asked UDOT about it. How big of a problem is it here in Utah?
It's a huge problem.
John Gleason with UDOT says they see about 1,800 debris-related crashes every year. He tells me there's crews throughout the state cleaning highways every day. And as for I-15 in the Salt Lake Valley,
we're out there a couple times a month with the sweepers and the rakes. We have heavy rakes that go through there that are towed behind the vehicles, and then the sweepers will go through there.
Gleason said it comes down to people not securing their loads and inspecting their vehicles. And that's something that Jones echoes. He asks that people check their cars and their trucks to make sure that nothing will fall off while they're driving.